You might not know about this car yet, but legends never die. And sometimes, like right now, they're reborn. There's nothing else quite like this. It's made not just for the street, but also for dirt, gravel, snow. It's a freaking supercar that you can rally. And we're gonna see how it stacks up to its famous dad. It's time to go fender flares to roof spoiler, bumper to bumper on the new Stratos. You can't talk about the world's best rally cars without bringing up the flying wedge, the Lancia Stratos. The Stratos was the first car purpose-built to go rally racing. It won 3 straight WRC championships in the mid-70s, and it looks so alien that when we storm Area 51 on September 20th, you could probably drive it right up to the gate and get waved on in. Production of the Lancia Stratos ended in 1975 with 492 cars built. In 2008, billionaire businessman and gentleman racer Michael Stoshek decided, hey, he wanted a new Stratos. He had a few extra euros on hand, so he was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna go ahead and get one made. Must be nice. The first prototypes were developed and built by famous Italian coach builders Pininfarina in 2010. Based on design by a fellow Stratos freak, Chris Rebelick. They planned to build several new Strati, but Pininfarina's longtime partner, Ferrari, did not like the idea of their BFF getting into close cahoots with some other exotic supercar builder. Ferrari having an opinion about something? No. Pininfarina didn't want to ruffle the prancing horse's mane, so no more cars were built. Until now. Today, there is a new Italian coach builder in town. The guy who managed the first new Stratos project at Pininfarina left the company and started his own shop. His name is Paolo Gorella. The company is called Manifattura Automobili Torino, but I'm just gonna call them Matt. And Matt don't give a flying fox what Ferrari thinks. Toot, toot! They've already gotten started on building 25 of these new Stratoses. Matt is a cool dude, so they asked Lancia if they wanted to be involved, but the brand has long since lost their sporty vibes, and they just flat out were like, nah. After all these years, they'd never even trademarked the Stratos name. Their loss is Stoshek and Matt's gain, because now we have this incredible car with the same sick original name, covered with the same sick original logo. When you first see it, there's absolutely no question it's a Stratos. A handful of companies have made more or less exact replicas of the Lancia Stratos over the years, but modern retro is all the rage right now, baby. This new Stratos takes all its cues from the original, but like today's muscle cars, it's a totally new version of it. There's the same overall shape, obviously, but everywhere there would have been a Lancia badge before, there's now a Stratos badge. The proportions mirror the original, with everything scaled up a little bit. That's because this thing is built on a Ferrari F430 Scuderia. And if you want a new Stratos, you got a BYOF. And I don't know if you guys have been hitting Craigslist shopping for beater F430s lately, but I have. And as you might have guessed, the cost of entry ain't cheap. On top of that, Matt charges an additional 600,000 euros to cut up your Ferrari. So you're looking at more than $800,000 for your limited production 1 of 25 rally supercar. Yes, they do turn it into an entirely different thing, but for $800,000, you can turn a lot of different kinds of cars into a rally car. As I was saying, Matt takes your Ferrari, then chops it up. The aluminum chassis gets a much shorter wheelbase, hacked by almost 8 inches. Next, they weld in an FIA certified steel roll cage and drop on a new full carbon fiber body. The end result is a wheelbase about 5 inches longer than the original Stratos, which lands right between the new Miata and the BRZ/86 twins for reference. The whole car is 13 inches shorter in length than the F430, but a full 18 inches longer than the original Lancia. It's also about 8 inches wider than the old Stratos, which is crazy because this thing is not large. Now, the original Stratos had but those aren't allowed anymore because of pedestrian safety regulations. So the new Stratos has these geometrically shaped units flush with the hood. The front end is pretty pointy and includes enough of a lower lip to be considered a splitter. Now the look is a little bit more traditional than the original car in my opinion, which had this crazy sharp nose that would take your legs off at the knees. They should have called it a knee splitter, am I right? The new Stratos' hoodline is so low and narrow that the big front fender flares wrap over the top. The entire front end is actually one big clamshell, and so is the back. The 19-inch center lock wheels are inspired by a classic split 5-spoke design. The rear has extra aggressive flares to cover the fat 305s, which stick out quite a bit from the car's curved sides. Those back wheels are an insane traction snagging 11 inches wide. That's as wide as this regular old piece of letter-sized paper is long. That's also as wide as the Dodge Demon's drag racing wheels. Them boys is thick boys. The windshield wraps around the cockpit and is framed by narrow A-pillars to give the driver the best possible forward view, which is a thing that I think a lot of us lack in our lives sometimes. Eye on the prize. The body lines echo the UFO look of original Stratos, with the high raked belt line, small side window, and rounded door skins. And you can't have a Stratos without the usual hoop over the roof. Now that's actually a spoiler, and on this new car, there's intake vents over here at the sides to suck air into the mid-mounted engine just behind it. That's a trick new setup the new car has that the old one doesn't. You know what, Dad? I'm better than you. That's a screaming Ferrari power plant tucked behind the cockpit, Holmes. Just like on the old car, only this time, it's a 4.3 liter V8 instead of a 2.4 liter V6. That's more power, baby. More power. You lift up the rear clamshell, and you'll see custom carbon fiber intake manifolds bearing the Stratos font S. It's been fine-tuned with custom intake and exhaust systems and a new ECU to make 540 HRSPRS. That's 40 buff horse boys more than the Scuderia. With a feathery curb weight of like 2,800 pounds, that's good for 0 to 60 in 3.3 seconds, which is this fast. You're at 60. Now Matt can tune it up for 600 HRSPRS too if 540 isn't enough for you. Like if, I don't know, you're a psychopath. With the engine in the middle and a short wheelbase, the new Stratos has pretty snappy boy handling. But the weight distribution is a pretty even 44% front, 56% rear, which makes it theoretically balanced and responsive. The big rear lip spoiler tips out over the tops of the taillights, which are simple round lenses surrounded by mesh. Drop further down and the dual exhaust tips just poke out of the bodywork beyond some heat shield wrap. The carbon fiber and aluminum construction combined with the steel roll cage give this new Stratos extra stiffness. That rigidity and the mid-engine layout give it the cat-like agility you need for darting around tight switchbacks with the crowd on one side and a cliff on the other, and like, oh no, there's a tree, and your guy's like,
into long 6 right.
And as I mentioned before, the cage is already FIA legal, so theoretically, you can just hop in this thing and start rallying. To me, that sounds very expensive and very scary. So let's go look at the interior. The interior looks straight up like the business, with race-style bucket seats and 4-point Sparco racing harnesses. This seat is extremely narrow, and I don't think that it was made for the likes of me and my buff son Nolan. The upholstery is a grippy suede-like material that velcros your butt to the seats in the corners if you're not already wedged into it, which I currently am. I'm not sure if I can get out of this car. If this new Stratos has seats this small and this close together right now, then Lancia drivers and co-drivers from the 70s must have been the size of Italian leprechauns. Mamma mia, get your hands off of me, lucky meatballs. Much like me, the steering wheel is fatter than normal, and it looks like it's made of carbon fiber, which it is. Yep, carbon fiber. And it's got suede grips right where your hands should be at 9 and 3. There's no flat bottom steering wheel here, boy, because those can't slide through your little fingies when you're all crossed up sliding sideways down a rally stage. And the coolest part is this bright red button on the left that starts the engine, although it does also come with a real key. It does sound pretty cool though. Oh yeah, it is a Ferrari engine, yes. The gauges look really, really cool and old school and are mounted on a flat piece of aluminum. And there are no big screens anywhere showing you how many G's you're pulling or what's playing on your Sirius XM radio. There's not even a radio in this, I don't think. If you can afford this thing, you get a choice between a modified 6-speed automatic transmission with carbon fiber flappy paddles on the steering wheel that'll bang a shift out in 60 milliseconds, or if you're cool like me, you'd opt for the 6-speed manual with a gated shifter, because we like them 70s vibes. Now, rally cars usually have black felted or flocked dashboards that eliminate the glare from the sun on the windshield, and the new Stratos kicks it up a skosh with stitched black suede. One of the coolest parts about this whole car is that the carbon fiber door panels have a huge crevasse for storing your helmets between rally stages, just like in the original car. There's literally nothing else on the door panel. Now, whether or not you drive it, this car is built for driving. Everything is totally true to the old formula, just updated and modern. This new Stratos does beautiful justice to the original WRC Lancia Group 4 legend. We can only hope that we'll see more of these things tearing up back roads and throwing rocks in rallies like they were built to do, and not sitting in some old rich guy's fancy barn. Thank you guys for watching Bumper to Bumper. If you didn't watch it, then I'd just be some weirdo sitting next to a car talking to his friends. We got a lot of new shows coming up this summer. If you don't want to miss any, make sure you hit that bell down there, hit the subscribe button, which is right here. We got a new show that I'm really excited about. It's called High Low. Nolan and I bought identical 350Zs. His got cheap eBay parts and mine got really nice parts. It's currently on the social media thing. Go to donutmedia.com to get yourself some new merch. Follow me on Instagram at James Pumphrey. Follow Donut at Donut Media. I love you.